Hey everyone, let me start by apologizing for the lack of an upload last week. I was and still am really sick. I couldn't even stand up for nearly the entire last Friday, so I wasn't gonna get any editing done. While at it, I also want to remind you this is a channel that actually uses its community tab, where I post important updates like my sick leave, so if you ever wonder why a video wasn't uploaded or why a video is late, that's where you'll find out. Anyway, today's game has its name thrown around a lot. I always see it being worshipped like one of the best vertical scrolling shooters ever made. I'm sure you've been in this situation before. You go play a game that gets so much high praise, there is no way it can live up to the hype. I wasn't expecting to be blown away, but at the very least I can see where people were coming from. Ikaruga is the successor to an arcade and Sega Saturn gem called Radiant Silvergun. And yeah, as I said, Ikaruga, that's how it's pronounced. It was developed by Treasure, which means you can expect the polish of a Treasure game. And you can also expect it to be super freaking hard. The game is 5 stages long, which even for an arcade shooter is very short. However, every stage feels very different to the next, with every boss testing your strategy and skills in a nearly completely different way. This means if you're not some kind of gaming god, you're probably gonna find a different seemingly impassable wall in every level in your first dozen playthroughs. What sets Ikaruga apart from the other games in the genre isn't just tiny text with pretentious nonsense that is impossible to read before it disappears from the screen, but the core mechanic of changing your ship's polarity. With the press of a button, you can change between light and dark. This affects the color of your own shots. Enemy fire also comes in the two variations, so if your color matches that of the enemy, you absorb their shots and fill your energy bar. No, it's not a health bar, it's a gauge you spend to unleash powerful homing shots. You die in one hit in this game no matter what. This mechanic has to be mastered to be the game legit. Rather than simply dodging fire like any bullet hell, in Ikaruga the player is expected to approach each section of a level with focus on rhythm and strategy. There are no weapon upgrades or power-ups to get in this game. Aside from tampering with the game settings to make reaching the end credits really easy, there are no shortcuts. You get used to the polarity mechanic, learn the pattern and rhythm for each encounter, and try to reach the end without failing to kill bosses on time. With all that said, Ikaruga is not by any stretch of the imagination a shooter for newbies. If anyone tells you to start with this game to get into the genre, they either have very high expectations of you, or they really hate you. This is a shooter for fans of shooters who want to try something slightly different. On default difficulty, you're really expected to have excellent coordination and pay attention to your polarity, the pattern of enemy fire and your position so you don't end up colliding with anything. If you remember my Delete in Wonder Labyrinth mini review, I expressed how I really didn't like that game's polarity mechanic. Yeah, well, it's way worse here, because I just didn't have the coordination to pay attention to so many things at once. Although, again, it really feels like in Ikaruga it's more of a matter of learning the rhythm of each boss, rather than reacting to everything on screen quickly. Still, like any shooter, this takes practice. You die a lot trying. You keep trying again, making a little bit further each time. If you're a fan of the genre, you're either gonna love or hate this game, because it doesn't exactly play like a standard shooter and it lacks some of the addictive staples like all the power-ups. With the intended difficulty where enemies shoot back at you, you actually use your regular shots a lot less and the homing energy shots more, which makes Ikaruga play even less like a traditional shooter. The presentation and music style is rather unique, and the central mechanic has influenced a number of games in different genres since. This game is available on Dreamcast, GameCube and every modern platform, except Mac. Thanks for watching and take care.